Here are today's top stories. Labor Day rallies in Metro Manila and other parts of the country were generally peaceful according to the PNP. The Department of Foreign Affairs says the lifting of the deployment ban to Kuwait depends on the outcome of its deal with the Philippines. Baguio City begins the implementation of a plastics ban. And Negros Occidental is seen as the next top tourist destination in Western Visayas. Good day, I'm William Theo. Welcome to the PNA Newsroom. Nearly 8,000 individuals from various organizations staged Labor Day protests in Manila, with hundreds of others holding their own rallies nationwide. Despite the numbers, the Philippine National Police says the rallies were held peacefully. More on this report from Janice Cabe.
The Philippine National Police lauded rally organizers for a largely peaceful Labor Day celebration that saw close to 8,000 individuals taking part in the demonstrations in Mendiola, Manila alone. NCRPO Chief Director Camilo Cascolan said he is grateful for the cooperation of all labor leaders and demonstrators who conducted a well-organized rally. The rally in Mendiola began at noon with some 5,000 initially participating from the groups Kilusang Mayo Uno, I Defend, Sanlakas and Buklura ng Manggagawang Pilipino. Meanwhile, in Bataan, a group of 30 rallists converged at the Green Oil gas station in Mariveles. In Laguna, 40 individuals were spotted in the rally led by the KMU in Barangay Balibago, Santa Rosa City. Other groups also held a 500-men-strong rally in Peñaranda Park, Legazpi City, while members of the groups Anak Pawis, Grupo ng Magsasaka, Piston, and Bayan Muna staged a 300-men-strong protest action in Plaza Rizal, Barangay Dinaga in Naga City. In Camarines Norte, 350 rallists from the KMU, Bayan Muna, and Gabriela joined a mass action at JB Terminal, Barangay Gahonon, Daet. In Cebu, about 200 members of Sanlakas, Piston, Sugbo, Kilusang Magbubukidin Bayan held a demonstration at the Pope John Paul, Barangay Mabolo, Cebu City. While in Butuan City, 500 rallyists from KMU, Gabriela, Piston, Lihok Butuan, Kadamay held a demonstration in front of the National Museum in Barangay Doongan, Butuan. By noon Tuesday, the Philippine National Police Headquarters reported a total of 6,920 rallyists nationwide. For the PNA Newsroom, I'm Janice Cave.
Malacanang is optimistic that the Duterte administration can generate more jobs amid reports of an increase in joblessness. A social weather station survey released on Labor Day showed that the unemployment rate in the country soared to 23.9%. The number of jobless adults rose from about 10.9 million in March 2018 from 7.2 million in December of 2017. Presidential spokesperson Harry Roque says the administration's Build infrastructure plan would be able to generate more job opportunities. Roque said the survey was conducted at a time when students had just finished their last semester in college and are expected to seek employment. He also noted that December is usually a time when there are many part-time job opportunities available because of the Christmas season. President Duterte, meanwhile, said the government will provide job and business fair sites nationwide where more than 140,000 vacancies from private employers will be made available. Close to 8,000 vacancies in government agencies are also open. Meanwhile, the DTI will give training and other assistance through negosyo centers. Labor Secretary Silvestre Bello III on Tuesday thanked President Rodrigo Duterte for signing the executive order ending all forms of illegal contractualization. Bello said the signing of the order only proves that the government is serious in stopping contractualization and subcontracting practices. He added that the president's gesture is a heartening gift to workers on Labor Day. Several labor groups, however, expressed disappointment over the signing of the EO. They claim the EO only serves to benefit employers and should have reflective of his sympathy for contractual and agency workers. The labor group said the president should have signed the fifth draft of the workers' EO that would make direct hiring of workers to principal employers a norm in employment relations. Labor Secretary Silvestre Bello III clarifies that the executive order signed by President Duterte is for the regulation of contractualization and subcontractualization. Bello says certain jobs may still be outsourced, such as seasonal, project-based, janitorial, maintenance, and security services. The EO provides that these jobs may be outsourced after passing through consultation with the National Tripartite Industrial Peace Council. The order also empowers DOLE to investigate companies that implement labor-only contracting. DOLE has given its regional offices until May 10 to list down companies who continue to violate the said executive order. Foreign Affairs Secretary Alan Peter Cayetano says the lifting of the deployment ban to Kuwait rests on a signed deal to protect overseas Filipino workers. Cayetano said that the ban would not be lifted so long as Filipinos are not protected 100% and no agreement or implementing mechanism is in place to protect them. At present, the agreement is more than 60 to 70% complete. Cayetano pointed out that at least 800 Filipinos are still holed up in shelters, 120 have yet to be rescued, and that there are diplomats who could not leave Kuwait. The Kuwaiti government last Wednesday declared Ambassador Renato Villa persona non grata following rescue operations of the Philippine Embassy in Kuwait. Duterte earlier imposed a total deployment ban on new workers to Kuwait following reports of abuse inflicted upon Filipina household workers and the brutal murder of Joanna Dema Feliz. After the diplomatic row escalated last week, Duterte announced that the ban stays. Still to come, the Philippine Charity Sweepstakes Office is considering sharing its revenues from small-town lottery to barangays. Baguio City begins the implementation of a plastics ban. These and more when the PNA Newsroom continues.
Para sa susunod na henerasyon, kailangan ngayon rehabilitasyon.
The Regional Oversight Committee hereby awards the Certificate of Recognition to the 18 municipalities and cities for being declared as drought-clear upon validation by the Provincial Oversight Committee of the requirements submitted pursuant to the parameters set forth in Section 8 and 11 of the Dangerous Drugs Board Regulation Number 3, Series of 2017. This certificate carries with it the duties and responsibilities pertinent to the drought-clear status pursuant to Section 11 of the said DDB regulation.
I, Aaron M. Aquino, hereby confirm the resolution of the Regional Oversight Committee and confer on the province of Southern Leyte the status of drug-clear province pursuant to the provisions stipulated in Dangerous Drugs Board Regulation Number 3, Series of 2017, given this 17th day of April 2018.
Rehabilitasyon, rehabilitating the nation together.
The Philippine Charity Sweepstakes Office is studying whether to share its revenues from small-town lottery with barangays. More on this report from Maricor Zapata.
The Philippine Charity Sweepstakes Office, or PCSO, will study a proposal that barangays should also have a share of revenues collected from the Small Town Lottery, or STL. PCSO General Manager Alexander Baluted says there are a lot of barangay officials who would want to have a share of STL earnings, especially in the coming elections. Balutan reiterates that the purpose of STL is for charity and not for gambling. In the first quarter, the PCSO already shared a total of 446.6 million pesos to local government units, districts, and the police. Balutan also announced the agency's first quarter earnings of up to 15.98 billion pesos. The amount represents the combined revenue from Lotto, Kino, Sweepstakes, and STL, which was higher by 28.24% from the same quarter last year at 12.45 billion pesos. The Tax Reform for Acceleration and Inclusion Act, or TRAIN, also imposes a 20% tax on winnings of more than 10,000 pesos from PCSO products. At present, the agency is paying 3.59 billion pesos worth of taxes to the government. For the PNA Newsroom, I'm Maricor Zapata.
Meralco reports a 7% increase in its income at 4.9 billion pesos in the first quarter of 2018 as compared to last year's first quarter. Meralco President Oscar Reyes reported that the firm sold 9% more energy this quarter due to higher temperatures. He also reported a 5% increase in customer count, now at almost 6.4 million. The residential customer base accounts for 92% of the firm's total customer base. Meralco officials said the consolidated electric revenues increased mainly due to the 9% growth in volume of energy sold, even as Meralco's average distribution rate was 2 centavos per kilowatt hour lower. The first quarter of 2018 pass-through and other electric revenues increased due to higher spot prices in the wholesale electricity spot market. Labor Day was celebrated peacefully in the provinces with job fairs and trainings accommodating thousands of hopeful job seekers. Here is our report from Miguel Hill.
Provinces mark Labor Day with job fairs and peaceful rallies. In Cagayan de Oro City, more than 1,000 job seekers trooped to the two-day Mega Jobs Fair at the Department of Labor and Employment. Nearly 15,000 job vacancies were available from 118 local and overseas agencies. In Leyte, at least 239 out of over 2,000 job seekers were hired on the spot during the Labor Day Jobs Fair at the Tacloban Astrodome. The Pagadian City Government, in partnership with the Zamboanga del Sur Provincial Government and other national government agencies, also held a jobs and livelihood fairs marking the Labor Day celebration. Over 3,000 job vacancies for local and overseas employments were offered to job seekers. The Department of Trade and Industry provided livelihood training, while TESDA held spot training and enrollment to those who want to attend technical courses. The Labor Department urged those who were found unqualified to undergo skills training to increase their chances of getting employed. Meanwhile, the Police Regional Office 11 declared the Labor Day celebration in Davao Region as peaceful amid complaints of militant groups from Compostela Valley being held at checkpoints. About 400 protesters marched through city streets from Magsaysay Park to Freedom Park along Rojas Avenue. For the PNA Newsroom, I am Miguel Hill.
Baguio City has started its ban on plastic packaging, with the ban focusing on one-time use shopping bags known as sando bags. Starting May 1st, sando bags may be used only if they are certified as biodegradable. Cordelia Laksamana, head of the City Environment and Parks Management Office, said a study in 2012 had shown that plastic bags accounted for about 1/4 of the city's garbage. the full ban on plastic bags, even if the implementing rules and regulations for a city ordinance ordering such has not yet been released. Baguio City Mayor Mauricio Domogan signed on Friday an administrative order stating some mechanisms on how to implement the ban. The city ordinance on the plastic ban was passed back in May 2017. Laksamana said households that had stocked up on plastic bags, especially for garbage receptacles, are given a 3-month phase-out period. The municipal government of Banaue, Ifugao has taken steps to preserve the environment and the beauty of world-acclaimed Banaue rice terraces. Mayor Jerry Dalipog said that in 2016, the local government and the Department of Health distributed plastic septic tanks for establishments catering to tourists so that wastewater will not be drained into the rivers. The mayor also mentioned the construction of a 4-story parking building to prevent congestion of roads. As for the restoration of damaged terraces, the Pilog said the walking trails are now being fixed for the safety of both the locals and the tourists. About 1,607 rice terraces in Banaue are now under restoration. The local government is also constructing potable water lines following the establishment of the Banaue Water District. Meanwhile, Banaue's indigenous families still practice their age-old tradition of maintaining muyong or forest areas on top of their terraces. The Banaue Rice Terraces was declared the 8th wonder of the world and is among UNESCO's list of heritage sites in the world. Up next, Negros Occidental is seen as the next top tourist destination in Western Visayas. A renowned pianist plays Negros Oriental's century-old pipe organ for a benefit concert. These and more when the PNA Newsroom returns.
Paalala ng Commission on Elections sa mga botante na pahalagahan ang pagboto.
Palawak ang papel na ginagampanan ng barangay.
President Duterte has ordered the release of financial aid to workers in Boracay who have lost their jobs. About 448 million pesos will be released to help workers affected by the closure of Boracay. The president has tasked the Department of Labor and Employment to initiate assistance to the workers while the rehabilitation of Boracay is ongoing. He assures that the multi-million peso aid will be made available this month. The fund is expected to be used in active labor market programs such as trainings and livelihoods. The province of Negros Occidental is seen to be the next top tourism destination in Western Visayas, replacing Aklan province where Boracay is located. Department of Tourism Region 6 Director Helen Catalbas says Negros Occidental hosted 1.7 million foreign and local tourist arrivals. The province is second to Aklan, which recorded 2.2 million arrivals, a majority of which visited the Boracay. Among its popular tourist destinations are Mount Canlaon, Sulphur Springs of Mambucal Resort, snorkeling at Carbon Reef, Marine Reserve in Sagay City, and Danjugan Island Marine Reserve. Catalbas, however, said the number of tourists has become secondary with the lessons brought about by Boracay's closure due to degradation. She said they intend to focus more on the sustainability of the province's destinations. The much-awaited arrival of the Philippine Football League in Iloilo City will be delayed for a while. Today's showdown between Kaya Iloilo and Global Cebu at the Iloilo Sports Complex was postponed. Kaya Iloilo General Manager Paul Tolentino said the Cebu team is unable to travel to Iloilo. The PFL notified Iloilo of the deployment development through a letter, but Tolentino did not disclose the reason. The match was supposed to mark the day when Kaya Iloilo was supposed to finally set foot at its new home. To make up for the postponed match, Iloilo instead held a fans' day at the said venue. In a related development, Tolentino said Iloilo and Negros agreed on swapping hosting rights to their home games. Iloilo is supposed to host Negros on May 12, but instead the match will be held at the Panaad Stadium in Bacolod. In return, their July 7 rematch, a supposed Negros home game, will be held at the Iloilo Sports Complex.
The Task Force Bangon Marawi Information Management and Strategic Communication Support Group conducted its first strategic and crisis communication training for information officers of different agencies of TFBM in Region 10 and ARMM. This is to ensure that involved working individuals are capacitated with the knowledge and skills required in delivering consistent and genuine information needed by the public and the affected communities. Information in the realm of reconstruction and development is crucial not only in ensuring transparency and accountability on the government's end, but also in enabling citizens to take part in this undertaking that will help millions of Mindanaoans. The said activity includes brief introduction to civil-military operations and its significance in the efforts of TFBM by Joint Task Force Ranao Deputy Commander Colonel Romeo Bronner Jr. Along with this, countering fake news was also tackled during the workshop by Mindanao State University Iligan Institute of Technology Professor Darwin Manubag, presentation of the TFBM Communications Protocol, as well as countering or preventing violent extremism. Bangsamoro Transition Commission Commissioner Mussolini Lidasan enlightened the participants with the historical context of violent extremism, in which he focused on its effects to Marawi City. According to Philippine Information Agency Director General Harold E. Clavite, communications protocol is very crucial in ensuring the transparency and accountability. He also added that communications protocol has to be established to be able to have guide in delivering information to the public. For PNA Newsroom, Sweet Lukman, Philippine Information Agency.
Music lovers in Negros Oriental, we got a chance to listen to the music of the province's century-old pipe organ in a special concert for a cause. More on this report from Janice Cave.
A renowned pianist will play the century-old pipe organ in the St. Augustine of Hippo Parish in Bacong, Negros Oriental this month. Monsignor Julius Heruela, the parish priest of Bacong, said the activity is a joint endeavor with Silliman University, and they have invited Professor Armando Salazar to a concert dubbed Laudamus Dominum, a night of sacred music. Proceeds from the concert will go to senior clergy and senior pastors in Negros. The concert will show what the pipe organ can do other than just play songs during Sunday Mass. The pipe organ in Bacong, Negros Oriental is one of a few pipe organs originally made in Spain and brought to the Philippines, and the first of the pipe organs in the country to be restored. It was acquired on March 28, 1894, disassembled in December 2008, and brought to Las Piñas in Metro Manila for restoration works after an agreement with St. Augustine Parish, the Diego Serra Organ Builders, and the municipality of Bacong. The organ was returned to Bacong after full restoration in October 2009. After its restoration, the pipe organ is played every first Sunday of the month and on special occasions only. But it needs to be played regularly to protect the new pigskin airbag and prevent its deterioration. The National Commission for Culture and the Arts declared it as a national cultural treasure. The concert will be held on May 11 at the St. Augustine Hippo Church at 6 p.m. For the PNA Newsroom, I'm Janice Cave.
Let's now check out the weather forecast for Metro Manila and the rest of the country. Here's another look at today's top stories. Labor Day rallies in Metro Manila and other parts of the country were generally peaceful according to the PNP. The Department of Foreign Affairs says the lifting of the deployment ban to Kuwait depends on the outcome of its deal with the Philippines. Baguio City begins the implementation of a plastics ban. And Negros Occidental is seen as the next top tourist destination in Western Visayas. Thank you for watching another edition of the PNA Newsroom. To check out these and other stories, visit the PNA website or follow the Philippine News Agency on Facebook and Twitter. For more stories about the government and how it serves the Filipinos, look for these hashtags in all of our social media platforms and websites. And that's your daily dose of the latest news and information that you need to know. From the PNA Newsroom, I'm William Theo. Good day.